A few years back, I had my first contact with Buddhism, and at first sight, I I was amazed by how simple it is. You know, when Buddha came back from his experience in enlightenment, he gave his first speech, as known as the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, or it would be somewhat like putting the wheel of Dharma in movement. And basically, in this first speech, he came up with four noble truths that would explain the whole situation. And basically, each one of these four truths, they were related to existence. The first truth would be about pain or dukkha, that would be inherent to life. The second truth would be the cause of suffering, this reality, that would be craving. In the word, in Sanskrit, would be tanya. But in the third would be the truth about the ending of suffering. That would be the ceasing of the craving and the attachment driven by ignorance, in order achieving the state of liberation known as nirvana. And the fourth noble truth would be the path that would lead to the end of suffering. That would be the noble eightfold path. And this noble eightfold path would be divided in three parts. The first part would be about a theoretical understanding of reality, that is, the understanding the nature of reality and the four noble truths, and cultivating unselfish, compassionate, and non-harmful intentions. You know what I mean? That would be in the level of ideas. The second level would be the conduct of the individual in society. That is, there would be the right speech, the right action, the right livelihood. And the third, and I think very important part, would be the mental discipline. That would be the right effort, right mindful, right concentration in meditation. That is the, you know what I mean? What did I just said? What did I just say? There would be four noble truths and the noble eightfold path. Eightfold path. It's very simple. When you look at other religions, all these complex connections that have to be made. You know, all these gods and everything. You know, all these complex prayers and all that. In Buddha, he came up with something very simple that every human being can execute in their lives. It's like making a cake, you know, baking a cake or something. It's very simple because he gave this recipe. It's very simple recipe that would be this four noble truths. That would be the understanding of something very simple. For example, that pain is inherent to life. Everyone can agree on that. And that when we have craving for ideas, things outside of ourselves, you know, craving to permanence and all that, you know, the need to project, to create these identity fictions with everything, you know what I mean? And the truth about how to end this, and how to end this to achieve nirvana, as they say, would be to walk on that noble eightfold path. This path that should be walked by each individual. And it's very simple because it's about the understanding of reality, how we act with other people around us, and the mental discipline. That is very interesting because this, in all religions, in all philosophies, we have this part of wisdom, of theoretical ideas, and we also have ideas about social conduct. But the mental discipline in Buddhism is a very important part, and we don't see it very often in other philosophies, because differently than others than others philosophies, in Buddhism, what happens is that it it uh, it asks oneself to develop mental discipline, to meditate, you know what I mean, to increase his awareness of his feelings, the awareness of his mind, you know what I mean. And that's very powerful, my friends, when we think about that. And when I had this contact with Buddhism, I was just completely speechless, you know. I found it very simple and very direct. Every person can use this method in their lives. And remember, Buddhism is not a religion, because most people think that that is a religion because they have similarities to religion, but it's not. In the core of Buddhism, what we have is not a god. And that's the thing, is something to think about, my friends. The core of Buddhism is about the individual freeing himself from ignorance, from putting himself in a place of awareness of the logic behind the actions. I try to use this method in my life, you know, I try my best. But it's so simple that sometimes our selfishness makes it a little bit difficult. But in the end, that's something to think about, my friends, because in this art, the number 4 is right there. And the number 4 is very important in Buddhism. And it's a very symbolic number. It's number everywhere. Number 4 is very symbolic. What I mean is that everything is mandala, in the sense that it's all a cycle of understanding, because it begins in the individual level, then it goes to the cosmic level, then it comes back to the individual level. And then I ask myself, where is consciousness in all that? After all, everything is mandala.